Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first week of Diversity Storytime. I am Daisy, your host, and these are my co-hosts. This is Machu the guinea pig, and this is Chew the guinea pig. And they'll be co-hosting Diversity Storytime all summer long. Now, Machu and Pichu, the guinea pigs, love hearing stories. So every week this summer, we're going to be bringing you a different story. So what story do we have this week, boys? This week we're reading a book called Snowflower and the Panther by Flory Leclerc. Are you two ready to hear about Snowflower and her adventures? How about you guys? Let's read. All right. There he goes again, sighed Snowflower. Red was growing loudly outside her window as the sun rose in the central African sky. And I was having such a great dream. Snow stretched in bed, moving her braided hair away from her big brown eyes. Her mother named her after the snow, although it never snowed in Cameroon. Still, her mother believed Snowflower was as pure as fresh white snow and as beautiful as a flower in full bloom. Glancing through the window, Snowflower flung her arms out wide to welcome the new day. It's going to be another exciting day, she said out loud. She caught a whiff of the sweet, vanilla-flavored beignet, a type of African donut that Snowflower's grandma often made. Snowflower hopped out of bed, washed, and put on her favorite yellow dress and her beaded sandals. Then she ran to the outdoor kitchen. She came up behind her grandma, Mammy Marguerite, and surprised her with a hug. Good morning, Mammy. Well, good morning, Snowflower, said Mammy Marguerite, as she put more wood on the fire. Then she sat on a stool, dipping clumps of dough into a pot of hot oil. Snowflower grabbed a fresh, warm beignet from the platter and took a bite. The sugary, fluffy donut melted in her mouth, and she smiled with satisfaction. Mammy smiled too. After you're done eating your beignet, could you go to the river and bring back some water to drink and cook with? Sure, Mammy. I'll be off soon, replied Snowflower. She grabbed a few more beignets and stuffed two in her pocket. Licking her fingers, she picked up her calabash for collecting water and skipped down the road toward the river. Be careful, Mammy called out as a car zoomed by. On the way, Snowflower stopped at her friend's house and knocked on his front door. Remy, she called. Moments later, the door opened and Remy ran outside. Hi, Snow, he said. Where are you going? I'm going to the river. Do you want to come? Snowflower asked. Sure, Remy said. He grabbed his water jug and walked alongside Snowflower. As they left the village of Bankolo and made for the river, Snowflower and Remy sang the Cameroon national anthem, which they were learning in school. Land of promise, land of glory, thou of life and joy. In the background, they could hear the calls of local villagers selling their goods along the main road. Snow remembered the two beignets she had put in her pocket, and she gave them to Remy. Thanks, Snowflower, he said as he gratefully ate them. Let's take the shortcut through the forest to get to the river, Snowflower suggested as they reached the forest. It was a hot day, but the babinga trees, the tall palm trees, and the banana trees with giant leaves provided shade along the path. As they walked through the forest, they were startled by a rustle in the low-lying brush ahead. Did you hear that, Snow? Remy asked, his eyes wide open. Yes, what if it's a big snake? Or a hyena, or even a lion, said Snow. Let's walk a little faster. Soon enough, they arrived at the river's edge. The water sparkled in the sunlight. They splashed in the cool water, and scooped up shiny pebbles from the shallows by the bank. Hey, Snowflower, watch this. Remy skipped a rock all the way across the river. Let me try, said Snowflower. She reached for a rock, but touched a frog instead. Remy, look, there are so many frogs in the water. Let's try to catch one, said Remy. They both leaned down and tried to scoop the small frogs out of the river. Snow, look, I caught one. Snowflower reached over and stroked the frog with her finger. It was hot outside, but the frog's skin felt cool and moist. It hopped from Remy's hand into the river with a splash. They're so fast, said Snowflower, laughing at the leaping frogs. We should get our water and head home. Remy and Snowflower filled their water jugs. Then Snow balanced her calabash on her head, and the two friends headed back to the river. As they passed through the forest, they heard a rustling in the bushes again. Hey, it's the same sound we heard before. Let's check it out. Remy gripped his slingshot, and Snowflower placed her calabash on the ground. Yeah, let's take a look. They approached the bushes, and Snowflower peeked through the leaves. Oh, Remy, it's a young panther. The two children spread out the leaves of the bush and peered through at the panther. They could see its shiny black coat and faint brown spots. He's stuck in a hunting trap, said Remy. Poor thing, said Snow, wishing they could help. Snow approached the panther cautiously, looking around in case his mother was nearby and might try to protect her cub. The panther looked at them with fear in his emerald green eyes, but he did not back away. I think we can undo the trap and free him, said Snow as she leaned forward. The panther growled, but she spoke to him gently. It's okay, little panther. My name is Snowflower, and this is Remy. We just want to help you. Snowflower's soft voice calmed the panther, and he allowed them to approach him. Snow stretched out her hand, and the panther sniffed it. We're going to get you out of this trap, she said calmly. She pulled the chain of the trap while Remy opened it with 2 sticks. Ka-chink! The trap came off. But the panther did not run away. Okay, little one, run along home to your mother now, Snow said, playfully as she patted his head. I think the panther's all free now, guys. Then she and Remy gathered their water jugs. They walked to the edge of the forest where it met the road. A swish of leaves startled them again. The panther had followed along. He limped toward them. That trap may have hurt his foot, said Remy. Maybe we can help him. He seems friendly, replied Snow. She bent down and gave the panther some water from her calabash. Then she poured the rest onto the grass. She carefully picked up the young animal and placed him inside the calabash, making sure he was comfortable. Let's get him home quickly, said Snowflower, as she placed the calabash on her head and rushed back to her house with Remy. Mammy, Snow called out to her grandma as they arrived back at the house. Yes, Snow, answered Mammy while she was hanging out the clothes to dry. Look what I have in my calabash. Mammy turned and was shocked to see what was in the calabash. Oh my goodness, Snow, it's a young panther. What made you bring a panther home? It could be dangerous, especially if its mother is near. Where did you find it? He was caught in a hunting trap in the forest. Remy and I freed him. Then he followed us to the road. His leg is injured, so I carried him all the way home. Well, you didn't bring the water like I asked, but never mind, Mammy smiled. I'm glad you're safe and thought to help the panther out. I'll get some bandages. I have to go home, but I'm glad the panther is safe, said Remy as he headed toward his house. Mammy brought out the bandages while Snow lifted the panther out of the calabash. She washed his leg in a bowl of clean water. Mammy dried his leg with a towel and then rubbed some healing ointment onto the wound. Do you know, Snowflower, the panther is our family's animal symbol because of its strength and calmness. Maybe that is why he lets you free him and then followed you back. You are strong and calm too. Really? I never knew that about our family, said Snowflower proudly. She held the panther still while Mammy wrapped a bandage around his leg. After they finished, Snow hit the panther on the head. He purred and his emerald eyes gleamed. Good work, Snow, said Mammy. The panther's wound will heal in a few days, and we can carry him back to the forest to be with his family. Carrying him in her arms, Snow brought the panther into her bedroom. I think I'll call you Nzui, she said. It means panther in our tribal language. Do you say it like this? Nzui, the panther asked. Wait, you can talk? Snow said, tripping over her dolls as she stepped back in shock. How were you able to talk to me? I can talk to you because I can tell you have a pure heart and won't hurt me. My family was captured in the forest by hunters. Now I don't have anywhere to go, Nzui said as he gazed toward the window. Snow hugged him. Don't worry, Nzui. Maybe I can help you find them. My grandma knows lots of people in the village and can ask for help. For now, you can stay here with me. You will be safe, I promise. Thank you, oh, thank you, Snowflower, said Nzui. I'm so happy I can stay. I think we're going to be great friends. I think so too, replied Snow as they smiled at each other, imagining the exciting ventures they would have together. And here's Snow, and she's helped her friend Nzui get away from some hunters and heal his leg. And that's the end of our story, Snowflower and the Panther. I hope you enjoyed it. I think that Machu and Pichu enjoyed it here. Did you enjoy it, boys? Well, if you enjoyed our story, I hope that you'll join us next week on Tuesday and Saturday when we'll be reading a book called Julian is a Mermaid by Jessica Love. It was nice to see you all. See you next week for Diversity Storytime. Bye.